Sound, it's everywhere. The question is, what do you use to record it? There's all kinds of things, from a shotgun mic that we're recording on right now, to a lavalier mic that we'll get to later, to a video mic that mounts onto the camera itself. There's even cheaper ways to bug a room, but yeah, they all have their drawbacks, their specific applications, and we'll go over that today. So a lot of what people are worried about is budget. There's only so much that you can buy for a certain amount. No matter what you decide with, especially if you're starting out, it's going to have drawbacks. The important thing is to stay flexible on what you have. Everything has its own applications. Like this shotgun mic that we're recording right now. It has to stay close and over my head to reduce the reverb as much as possible. If you move it, now it's in the back of the room. It's catching a lot more of the reverb bouncing off the corners of the wall. It works well enough. It can hear. It can still hear everything in the room. I've got to speak up a bit more, but you're getting a lot more reverb bouncing off of it because it's not as close to the overhead action. And if you're by yourself, and if you're planning to move around, that might not be the best option. You've always got to keep it out of the frame while staying close enough to hear it. Another option, a video mic. The video mic is much like a directional mic, like the shotgun is, that is still on. The shotgun is going to be hearing right here the best way. The way that it is on a camera is it's mounted this way, so it's straight out. There's one that I have with the Sennheiser where it's dual. It gets stereo that way. It's going to hear well this way, and it's going to hear a little bit this way, but it's not going to hear much this way on this side. No, that's not it. The great thing about a shotgun mic is that if you're in front of the camera, if you're doing a minimalistic crew, you can hear the same thing that you're seeing. Whatever's right in front of you can hear. However, windscreen can still be a problem, or wind shear can still be a problem. Be it the shotgun mic or the video mic, there are things like the windscreens here. Obviously, something like this also won't work for a long distance shot. The problem with that is that if you're doing an ultra wide shot that you want to hear, obviously you don't want to have a mic dangling over you in the shot, and you're not close enough to hear what's being picked up on the video mic, which is why you go to a lav mic. Lav mics, wireless transmission to a receiver. There's a lot of receivers that are smaller and go to that. However, if you're just starting out, you might want to go with a cheaper option like this one. It's $80 for a set of 2, and it's a wired receiver. Just goes straight to. This goes to a receiver like this. The way that you could do this is you can feed it either directly into your camera or feed it into a receiver, which again is a cheap option. This is a Tascam DR-05. And the other thing that you could do, and that's bailed me out a lot of times. We had an issue where the video mic had a lot of wind shear on it. I was picking up a lot of wind noise, but I had thought of that, stuck this into the cup holder over talking through the passenger window. Really good range on the directional mic, and I was able to hear it, but I was hearing the wind a lot, and I couldn't cut it down enough in post. However, I was able to compensate by hearing on this that was listening the whole time. I bugged rooms with this whenever I was having trouble with the lav mic and the other thing, which brings it to the point of mixing it up. It's good to have a backup. Some options aren't going to be the most cost effective, whatever you can do. But whatever you have to do, even if you can only afford one mic, the idea is to be creative. I did this one video where I had the lav mic and the receiver wasn't working. So I had shirt pockets, so I stuck this down there, and it worked just as well as a lav mic. You could hear perfectly the whole time. It was just as if I were wired and you couldn't tell. So whether you can afford 5 microphones, if you can afford a mix pre, then go for it, but you're going to have to stay creative at all times, because things are going to go wrong. Everything always goes wrong. Even setting up this shoot, things went wrong. But that's about all there is for this one. It's stay creative, do what fits your budget. It can always be salvaged. There's almost nothing wrong with buying a cheapy microphone to start out. This was the first thing I bought that I ever bought for sound, and it's worked just fine. That's it. Yeah, the question is what equipment to use. we got all kinds of tools. Some on the camera, some behind the camera, some in front of the camera.